Good morning. I'm Deirdre Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Theo Torres. I was just waiting for the text from the lady that runs our pool, Karen, that we had won. And
that didn't come. No.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another day ahead. Let's go to meteorologist Tamara Berg and get a check on our forecast.
Yeah, I'll admit my alarm went off and I looked at my phone. I'm like, any text that we've
I know. See?
Nope. So here we go to work. All right. Outside right now, a beautiful view of downtown Sacramento from the Exchange Hotel Skycam, brightening on the horizon. Official sunrise this morning is 14 minutes from now. You'll find it is a bit of a cooler start to your day, and you want to plan with maybe a layer as you get outside or get the kids ready for the first day of school. 57 degrees right now with a southwest wind at 7 in Sacramento. Moving through the day ahead, those winds will stay on the lighter scale, and temperatures will stay very cool as we head through the next couple of hours. So yeah, that may warrant keeping that long sleeve layer handy for yourself and the kids getting the day started. We're into the mid 70s around noontime, so a beautiful lunchtime temperature, and then away from that we start to warm into the mid and upper 80s later on this afternoon. Really just kind of bearable summer-like weather across Northern California. We're down into the upper 50s in Stockton and Modesto starting out your Wednesday. 57 in Auburn, 68 right now in Placerville. All the way up the hill you'll find Truckees even diving down into the upper 30s. Delta breeze still with us here in Fairfield at 17 miles an hour, still pulling some cool air in from the coast. And if you are headed back to the classroom today in Marysville, again, sunrise is at 6:14. Kids are going to want to layer as we'll start out the day in the upper 50s to low 60s at the drop-off. Midday sunny and mild low 70s with highs into the upper 80s to about 90s today around the Marysville, Yuba City area. Coming up in my full forecast, I'll talk about how long the unseasonably cool stretch of weather could last. It's 6:02 right now. Heading out on the highways, we'll probably see some school buses out there, Brian.
Yes, definitely watch out for the kiddos heading off to school. And taking a look at Highway 50 right now, you can see at Harbor Boulevard, looking off in that eastbound direction towards downtown, traffic getting along in both directions there. Now toward the Causeway, not seeing any delays. Highway 50 coming into downtown, no problems from Folsom, and Interstate 80 down into the split, no delays there. 80 over the top, no issues. And then if you're coming in Cap City Freeway over to 160, that's where we have a problem right now. 160 right at Richards Boulevard. Initially came in as a wrong way driver. Now 3 vehicles involved in a crash just on the west side of the river there, or southbound side of the American River there. And you can see that back up now towards Del Paso Boulevard, again on 160. So watch out for that. They've got 3 tow trucks en route to that scene with some major damage done to the cars there. 5 and 99, no issues on the northbound ride out of Elk Grove coming into downtown. Arno Road on 99, we have reports of a crash there, so watch out for that. 5 and 99 and the Crosstown Freeway looking good through Stockton. Westbound Highway 4 at Bay Point, we have a 3 vehicle crash there. The number 4 or slow lane is currently blocked or closed due to that accident as they're trying to get a tow truck there, but it's stuck in traffic as well. 99, no delays there. Westbound 205, a 23-minute ride. Westbound 580, a 26-minute ride across the Altamont Pass. Highway 50, a 10-minute ride out of Rancho Cordova. Interstate 80, Roseville to the split, 9 minutes. 5 and 99, 11 minutes out of Elk Grove. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Brian. Well, new this morning, Sacramento firefighters have put out a fire that broke out at an abandoned business along Stockton Boulevard this morning. Happened just before 4 at the former SactoFurniture.com, which is next to Jim Boy's Tacos, north of Fruit Ridge Avenue. A crew say about 20 tires outside of the building were burned and it spread up to the roof. Crews were able to prevent it from getting inside the building. An arson investigator has now been called to the scene. And it was a scare for workers at a Smart and Final grocery store in Rancho Cordova. Around 3:30 this morning, fire broke out on the backside of the building and sent smoke inside. It was closed to shoppers at the time, but employees were inside. Investigators are trying to determine if this was started by someone outside the building or perhaps it was just an electrical issue.
A man caught on camera trying to steal cigarettes from a 7-Eleven and then getting beaten up by store workers is due to be in court today. Stockton police identified that man as Tyrone Frazier. Police say that Frazier is the man seen emptying shelves of cigarettes into a garbage can. 2 clerks fought back. One of the clerks used a wooden pole to hit him more than 24 times. Police say that Frazier robbed the same store twice before. The district attorney's office says the 2 clerks are not under investigation or facing any kind of criminal charges. Meanwhile, Placerville police have arrested a man they say attacked a deputy's car with a pipe. Police say that Michael Price was spotted looking into cars on Broadway Drive Sunday night and that he was carrying a large metal pipe. Officers, they say, tried to stop him, and then they say he attacked the deputy's vehicle and damaged the door and the window. Police said that they used stun guns, beanbag rounds, and eventually a police dog to try to get him to stop, and he's now facing a list of criminal charges. Live Copter 3 over Amador County last night as crews rescued a woman who had fallen 25 feet down a hill. It happened in Plymouth near Cosumnes Drive, and she apparently has moderate injuries from that fall.
Well, this morning, homeless residents in Sacramento were being allowed to return to the shaded overhang area of City Hall after they were swept out yesterday.
Meanwhile, several city leaders are hosting a town hall meeting tonight to talk about the homeless crisis. KCRA 3's Melanie Wingo joining us now live with more on the dispute over the sweep.
Yeah, the city of Sacramento is admitting it did remove some homeless encampments from the downtown area, despite a federal judge's order blocking those types of sweeps. The judge had issued a 2-week restraining order to stop encampment sweeps, saying the city's alternative housing at Miller Park offered little to no shade during the extreme hot weather we have seen in recent weeks. But despite that order, which was issued on Thursday of last week, the city of Sacramento says it removed some encampments around City Hall on Friday and then also on Monday of this week. Right now, the city says it's working to follow all aspects of that federal judge's order. However, in a statement issued yesterday, the city says, quote, the city was previously not as effective in communicating with one of its contractors and their employees, leading to the unintentional oversights that occurred Friday and Monday. Meanwhile, the city also says it has communicated now with the police department and code enforcement to make everyone aware of this ruling. Reporting live in downtown Sacramento, Melanie Wingo, KCRA 3 News.
All right, Melanie, thank you. We are exactly 2 weeks away from the first Republican presidential debate. Several candidates say they do meet the qualifications to be on stage, but the current frontrunner says he may skip the event and hold a competing event of his own. KCRA 3's Amy Lou is in our Washington newsroom with a look at the chances you'll see former President Trump on that stage.
Well, former President Donald Trump hasn't made a final decision yet, but it so far seems more and more likely he will not show up. His reasoning is his clear lead over the other candidates, which he underscored in New Hampshire yesterday.
And I say, I don't know, if you're leading by 50 and 60 and 70 points, do you do that or not? I don't know. Should I? Okay, you ready? Poll. We take a free poll. Should I do the debate?
Potentially holding Trump from backing out from the debate is the viewership it will draw. Meanwhile, the stage is getting crowded with other GOP hopefuls. Candidates need to poll at least 1% in 3 national polls and have a minimum of 40,000 donors with 220 or more states. 8 candidates say they meet the threshold, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, and former Vice President Mike Pence, who announced yesterday he reached enough donors to qualify. With Trump so far ahead in the polls, the debate may turn into simply a battle for number 2.
No one's paying attention. If they have to, they'll pay attention. But the fact is that Donald Trump is so far ahead that most voters aren't distinguishing the differences between Mike Pence, Chris Christie, Tim Scott, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley. They're the second choice at this point.
To appear in the debate, which is happening in Milwaukee this year, all candidates must sign a pledge saying that they will support the eventual Republican nominee. It's one more reason why Trump may choose not to show up. In Washington, I'm Amy Lou, KCRA 3 News.
Well, 5 remaining candidates are still working to qualify for the first debate stage, including former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, Larry Elder, Perry Johnson, and former Texas Congressman Will Hurd. Well, President Biden continuing his 3-state sweep of the West with a stop in New Mexico today. He'll be marking 1 year since signing the CHIPS and Science Act into law with a speech in Albuquerque. The address is happening at a groundbreaking ceremony for a new wind tower manufacturing facility. The president is using the trip to sell his Bidenomics to Americans, convincing them his economic policies are working. Continuing our commitment coverage now, in Ohio, voters have spoken. And yesterday, during a special election, rejected a proposal to raise the percentage needed to amend the state's constitution. It is known as Issue 1. Now, the measure would have changed Ohio's referendum law by lifting the threshold for passage from a simple majority to 60% of the vote. Abortion rights supporters are calling the election a major victory. That is because in November, a referendum on the ballot will ask voters whether the state constitution should be amended to guarantee a woman's right to an abortion. If issue 1 had passed, it likely would have made it much more difficult for the referendum on abortion to be approved.
Do you know anyone in Florida? I think people are asking themselves that question.
Right? I know. I'm trying to rack my brain now.
Yeah, the reason is the winning ticket in the richest Mega Millions drawing ever was sold there.
And in fact, it was sold right here in this video at the Publix grocery store in the city of Neptune Beach. Yeah, in Florida, winners can't remain anonymous. They have to come forward eventually. But they do have 90 days due to the size of this lottery. Anyway, see, I'm just fumbled because I really wanted to win. A store will receive so upset, $100,000 for selling the ticket, so Publix will get $100,000.
And then somebody in Stanislaus County also won $3 million. That ticket did match the 5 numbers. It just didn't have the mega number. So close. It was sold at a gas station in Hillmar, which is about 6 miles south of Turlock. The lottery says that the ticket is worth more than $3 million. That is before taxes. The prize is calculated based on total sales across the state. California lottery officials say more than 1 million tickets do have smaller prizes. So here are the winning numbers: 13, 19, 20, 32, 33, and then the Mega Ball 14. The lucky person in Florida, well, that winner could get the lump sum payment, which is an estimated $783 million before taxes.